has a taste of a Friday, but it's obviously clearly not.
It would taste a lie.
Clearly not a Friday.
No, but you know what? I have 4 Fridays ahead of me.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, I have a little more bass in my voice now because I've only been awake for probably 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, because you are
I'm a slow riser.
You're the late night guy, huh?
Yeah. Well, shit. Yeah. I got off work 12 hours ago. Kind of weird.
It's a half a day. I don't know if I feel really that much.
Well, I played Red Dead Redemption 2 for about 2.5 hours afterwards.
Well,
which I'm not bitching about that. I'm actually very, very thankful for it.
I feel weird today because it's the first day I haven't loaded that thing up.
Yeah.
Clearly, if you don't know what we're talking about, you haven't really been on the your finger on the pulse of what's going on.
Pulse
it's
of
clearly
the nation.
Shoved right in your ass. No. The biggest thing in video game shit for since I would say probably in years. Probably in a couple years.
Oh, absolutely, dude. But absolutely.
All consuming. All consuming is what it is.
It's going to be the biggest game until the next Elder Scrolls comes out.
Probably. God, and that's a Bethesda to don't fuck themselves. That's a whole different thing. This is not the podcast for that. But
yeah, right. That's the podcast Ruben and I tried to do about 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Which didn't work out. Actually, I thought I still had it on the channel. No, I deleted it because I have a fully functioning brain.
Because drunk Brandon went, I don't want nobody to know about this shit.
Yeah, and if drunk Brandon don't want you to know about it,
you don't need to know about it.
You don't need to know about it. That's my hide. He keeps my shit on the low key.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, a video game set in the Old West. And, it's and even if you're not into Westerns and shit, the thing about it is, the reality is everybody is a fan of a Western, a good Western.
Oh, fuck yeah. If you don't like Tombstone, I guarantee you like Young Guns.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's the whole thing. And this thing covers a broad spectrum of shit for you to like, you know?
Yeah.
And it's.
I think I just really dated my generation by that reference.
I think you're okay. I don't fucking think we have that many teenagers listening to this shit.
That's very true. Yeah, that's fact.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So anyway, it is the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. And, we'll get to the House of Week shit here in a minute. Actually, we have a sponsor this week.
What, like Sally's Brillo pads?
No. This is actually a legit one this week.
Really?
Yeah. It is the Roosevelt Brewing Company and Public House bringing you this week's Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. It's legit. Thanks to them for the hospitality.
And is that what we're enjoying tonight?
This is the Eleanor's Blonde. It is it's an IPA, but it's a very mild IPA.
Yeah. I don't know if blonde IPA is a thing.
It is a thing, apparently.
I didn't know if that was just like a part of the name or what. But it does cover up that. I'm not a fan of IPAs.
I don't like people putting pine cones up my ass to where I can taste it in the back of my throat.
Where I feel like I'm drinking a scented candle of holiday time.
Yeah.
This is all right. I had a red IPA when I was in Wyoming. That was the best IPA I've ever had.
Right.
But I think it got to the point where it was no longer really an IPA at that point.
Sure.
This, you're drinking an IPA because you smell it. But you don't really taste it a whole god-awful lot.
It's there. They don't kill you with the hops, but it's certainly there. But it's probably my favorite IPA, I would have to say.
Yeah, good on you. Good on you, Roosevelt.
Thanks to those folks. The election season is now beyond us, but they now have the Bull Moose Imperial Stout, which is over 10% ABV.
I wonder if that's a reference to the club.
It's a reference to Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh,
the Bull Moose Party. Yeah,
there was this also just shows how shitty drunk I was about 11 years ago. We had a club called the Bull Moose Club, which means you always had to drink with a beer in your right hand, never in your left hand.
Right.
So the whole night, and if you're a part of the club, if anyone ever saw you with a beer in your left hand, they'd call out Bull Moose on you, and you had to fucking chug whatever was in your left hand where you were standing.
So you're always trying to hand people shit, so they have to offload their beer to the other hand?
That's what kids like to do. They want to take the focus off actually having a good time and just turn everything into I want horrible. That guy to get fucked up.
It's horrible, yeah.
Which, I mean, I enjoyed beer pong, but...
It's a game of children, a children's game up to the age of 26, 28 maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit. It was weird. Hearing that description of this beer makes me want to try it more now.
Yeah, no, that's the Imperial Stout, and it is I'm
a big fan of Imperial Stouts.
It's like 10.5 ABV.
God damn, that's getting up to European levels.
It's It's not far off from our Mead levels, actually.
Wow.
They've got that one. Make sure to stop and check that out. You can only buy that one by the glass because that's not as part of their Growler Club.
Oh, damn it.
They've also got an Oktoberfest that's actually out, I believe, today. It was supposed to be the day that one was going to drop, so check that one out as well. Speaking of the Growler Club, you can stop in, buy a growler from the Roosevelt Brewing Company, and it's $10. $6 to get it filled, but the first Saturday of every month you can be a part of their Growler Club. It's only $5 for a fill up on the first Saturday.
God damn, that's why you get paid the big bucks, man.
That's why I seek out the sponsors I do.
That's right. Yeah, I'm glad it's not me doing it because we would have some like, this week's podcast brought to you by a 3-fingered redheaded meth head.
No, she was asking, she's like, do you need to write this down? No, I don't.
This is kind of what I do.
So, anyway, thanks to the Roosevelt Brewing Company and Public House for supporting our podcast this week.
Yes, very notable. Very notable.
Indeed. And anyway, but moving along to the next portion of the... hold on. How's your week?
Hey-o! Well, I know I said on this show maybe a week or so ago how my stories were going to be a little more like
Right.
I was so wrong.
Oh, okay.
I was wrong about everything.
The malaise you had expected.
I was wrong
not
about everything, man. Yeah. I was wrong, and I think it might just be a not a constant thing. I think it's just specific for the week I had. I guess it's hunting season around here.
It's November, you sure?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I never viewed Portales as a hunting resort. It kind
of is as a stepping off for like weird shit. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we had weird motherfuckers stay. I was serving breakfast. Everybody had a gun. Everybody. They're all wearing camo and had guns.
Like long rifles?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Just hanging out, eating my breakfast, and it really freaked me out. Just the 11 people wearing camo with these. Thankfully, the rifles were at least in their goddamn cases, so strapped to their back.
They're not
like Arthur
Morgan laying across their lap or something, right?
No, but it was just I've never seen a sight like that in my lobby before, so it was a little weird.
Yeah.
And then all the regulars come down to get their breakfast on,
and it looks like you have the New Mexico militia.
I will admit, some of them. Just because I was in the back watching security cameras when it's when they're just because they're not really eating breakfast, they're drinking all the coffee and hanging out.
Right.
The workers that are my regulars come down to have some breakfast because they got to have that calorie burn for the day ahead.
Sure.
I'd say out of about 11 that came down, 4 turned around and went back to their rooms.
Yeah, the others, because who really needs to jeopardize?
The others went and got breakfast and then went back to their rooms. Apparently, 4 of them were like, no. Fuck this entire idea. I'm out.
You know what happens? When shootings don't happen, when no one has a gun. I'm going back to bed. I hate to say it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a very God. What if
statistics show if no one has a gun, nobody gets shot? That's a crazy statistic, I know, but no. Man, and I'm not saying hunters are of that mindset.
Yeah, no.
But people that are not hunters and not around firearms much, that's kind of the takeaway. So
yeah, I mean, as soon as someone put on a goddamn ski mask, my ass was gone.
Yeah, you always got to be wary if you're at a hunting store, at a sporting goods store,
like Dick's,
and somebody, or fucking Academy or anywhere. And they ask for to fill out gun information, and then they ask for the ski mask session. So you have to wonder because that guy probably. Not necessarily all that worried about being cold. It's more of a matter of concealing identity.
Got any tear gas there as well? I need basically the terrorism starter kit. But let's see. So when I say the malaise is past, it wasn't outside folk that made it go away. It's my own people.
Oh, wow.
I thought I escaped. I escaped this.
Exactly.
Because
that's why you changed your schedule. Right?
Yeah, and last week was tits.
Right.
2 out of the 3 days, all I had to do was my job. The one day was really busy, so there was some spillover. I get it.
Right.
The gal that I relieve has been there a year less than I have, so I know she's not going to pile work on me just because she's lazy.
Sure.
She's young and in school. So I get it. I'm fucking 36. I'm not in school. get your homework done so you can get the fuck out of this horrible place and go get a better job.
Yeah.
So, but now she has this work study, right?
Okay.
So now she can't work her full shift. She has to come in on the ass end of it. So the first 4 hours of her shift are worked by lazy people.
Oh, so now the shit you're trying to get away from starts to manifest itself.
And now it's not just fucking with me on Sunday. It's fucking with me on every day. Every day. Here was the kicker. We have this, we got some ladies basketball coming in today.
Right.
For like Western New Mexico University and Fort something or other.
Right. I think there's a tournament. Right.
Yeah, some kind of tournament going on this week. And one of the gals was tasked to make these little popcorn bags that say, pop it in to wish you good luck, which I thought was kind of bullshit. I mean, Eastern New Mexico is right there, and we're wishing good luck on a fucking team from the West.
Right.
Come on now. Come on. Which I think is fine. I think that's great. That puts off a good impression.
It's kind of cute, yes.
Yeah, it's all right. But I'm not a fan of it when my ass gets there at 11 o'clock and I have to fucking break out the goddamn vacuum at 11:30 and vacuum up popcorn.
Like you're fucking working in a movie theater.
Yeah, like the shit was done. The shit was done, but the cleanup had not yet begun.
Yeah.
That's my one.
Yeah, probably not as bad as a movie theater, say, that Pee Wee Herman's been to. But,
yeah, but I'd rather clean up popcorn than Pee Wee semen.
That's right.
Pee Wee semen.
Pee Wee semen.
Funny word. So I'm right back where I started as far as my hatred of my job.
Sounds like time to put in for a transfer to the new joint. That thing.
That's the other thing. This hotel, they were wanting it ready and open by the end of the year.
It ain't gonna happen.
Oh,
I went by today.
No.
They still have some weird shit. They had a goddamn humongous, fucking weird forklift looking thing, like all the way up to the second story, putting something in or taking some out. I don't know.
Yeah,
I had to drive around it because it had cones around it because
yeah,
safety.
If you were wanting to stay at the new Best Western in the old Portales Inn building, your ass better be making plans for summer of next year.
Oof.
If that.
Maybe.
If that. And if
they finally actually got to work on making the parking lot look like it's something that like fucking might have been like laid down since the 1950s.
Right. Yeah.
That's all right.
Bring a little modern to it.
But yeah, there's some crazy shit that's still going on. I mean, I expected to be putting finishing touches on. Fuck no. Not when you have like weird goddamn huge square things you're trying to either put into or take out of a building at the second or third floor with a huge goddamn industrial forklift that goes fucking a couple stories up.
Oh, and I have one more story.
All right.
And then I'm done. Because I don't like being this mad on a Thursday for some reason.
Madness is always okay.
But this is the dumbest thing I don't want to say I've ever heard. But as far as common sense goes, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
I go to work Monday night. Lungs full of joy. Like, work week. And then, everything went shit. But one of my jobs, we have 2 huge industrial dryers.
Okay.
And dryers.
One for each floor.
That's right. One for each version of how they've been soiled.
Ugh.
Yeah, right. Hey, that's an unfortunate reality of my job.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
You think?
No, that's egg yolk. Trust me.
You think hotel nurses have it bad? Or not hotel nurses. You think hospital nurses have it bad? Think about the poor housekeepers that have to clean up after people that don't give a shit about that.
It ain't our house, honey. Let's bang.
Yeah, you want to poop in the corner? I'm going to go jizz over here in the old poop garden. So my job is clean out the lint traps, which, I mean... it's not that hard. It's not really not that hard.
Accumulates all the crazy fibers that has the crazy fucking stuff on it. Though.
Yeah, which is, very... And then you can breathe that shit in.
Yeah.
So it's one of the... I always put on a fucking mask, too.
Fuck yeah. I'd be wearing a full fucking mop suit level 4.
I don't care how clean this shit is. I know what people do with it. I don't want to breathe it in my mouth. So...
Which is crazy because I got to say, I don't know... Well, you work in the hotel industry. That's got to be a weird thing. But honestly, I stay in a hotel with a lady. I'm not... amorous shit is not the top of the list.
I'm not too free, but hotels do fucking make that happen. They just have that vibe.
I guess I like to be comfortable in my surroundings. So fucking hotel rooms are like I feel like I'm staying in somebody else's house. So I kind of tend to behave a little bit. So yeah. Oh.
Well, I've ended up rocking, but
That's
not in a
that's
bad
why
way.
I mean,
But that's a story for another time.
You
Next
have
week,
a different perspective.
y'all tune in next week, and I'll tell you the tale of the first time I got drunk in a really nice hotel room. I was 19.
Oh, well, good man.
We'll do that next week. But okay, so I go to clean this lint trap out, and I shit you not, the lint trap is probably about the little area where it is, probably about 1.5 feet wide by about
3.5?
Yeah.
3.5 feet?
Filled to the top of like even where the lint
With a
trap is.
vulcanized substance?
with fucking lint. With pounds of this shit.
Wow.
To the point where I'm surprised this hotel did not burn to the ground.
Yeah, somebody drop like a weird woolen fucking coat in there?
Well, I immediately thought, well, clearly people just forgot to do their fucking job. And it's on my shift, so it can only be 1 or 2 people. And I accuse them both.
Sure. As you should.
Yeah, so I clean out the lint traps, and I'm like, I got to tell the boss about this because that's actually dangerous.
Yeah.
So I let her know. I'm like, hey, one of yours when I'm not here is fucking up. I come in Tuesday because she immediately found out about it. It was this new girl that we had trained. I hadn't trained. She got here when I was away, so I didn't train her. This other guy did. And when the guy trained her, he was like, okay, here's what you do. You clean the lint out of the trap, and then you put it back.
Oh.
You put it back.
So they hadn't even been doing any of that.
No. I shit you not. She took it. I have fucking security camera footage of her taking lint out of the dryer, balling it up, and then shoving it back in.
Oh, my God. Well, that's fucking...
She was trained to do it that way.
Well, that's how you do an arson fire, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be a felony.
Yeah, I think if you do that, ball it up, dip it in a little bit of kerosene, throw it back in.
Isn't that like common sense? Isn't that the dumbest fucking thing you've ever heard?
Well, fuck yeah. Why would you fucking put a lint ball back in?
And 2 people. One always believed it, and the other one fucking was trained to do it. Like, well, I don't see a problem with this. I clearly don't do my own laundry. Oh, goddamn. I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I hate to fucking say it.
I hope you're happy, folks. It's all back again.
Hate to be an asshole about it, but probably the only way you're going to fix this shit is to get into a management position and tell people how to do their fucking job. Right?
No, dude, because I would end up being on the front page of the paper, man.
You're either going to be fucking having to deal with this shit for the rest of your life, or for the rest of your career in this particular line of work, or you're going to have to say, fuck this, I'm going to teach these dumb bastards how to do this right, and which means then you become a manager. That's the downside of the fucking world of capitalism.
That's 6 days a week, and they would really, really force me to live at the hotel because they get a lot of money from that certain way.
Yeah, but I think that there's a means that you could have, especially with the. Well, here, how do I call the workforce here? Something that's doesn't sound like I'm trying to fucking say that they're all pieces of shit.
Cunts.
Yeah. I don't know how to really put it out there, but a position to where you can say, look, this is what I am. I am this manager of your overnight shit. I'm not going to live in your goddamn hotel, but I'm going to operate things on a fucking very overseeing nighttime kind of fucking thing.
Well, here's the thing. Every hotel I've worked at outside of this one had your manager and your front desk manager.
Right.
Now, the front desk manager dealt with the underlings. It's like, I make the schedule. I tell you fucking people when you're doing things right, and I will tell you when you're doing shit wrong.
Right.
Manager does manager shit, runs the rest of the shit. Here, the manager has to do all of that. And it's tough to fucking do. Especially when a lot of the shit was like hired from within.
Right.
You know? But if I could just be a front desk manager, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to run the whole goddamn thing. That would be the only option I'd have out there.
All I'm saying is that maybe, the worst thing in the world isn't changing the paradigm. I know that like industries like to say, okay, well, this is how we've always done it, and it worked so far, so let's just keep doing it this way. I don't know, man.
And the last time I tried to be a front desk manager, I had a human resource meeting for it. So, what's the god? I mean, if I was bestowed a certain power, then, it'd be fine. but I'm not going to run that entire establishment. I can't do it.
No, you don't want the fucking heartache and heart attack. Sorry.
I'll run a B&B out of my shop.
Yeah. Well, you'd probably actually do okay because that's kind of the district for it, right?
Yeah, well, that's where a lot of people like to sleep is outdoors in a little shed.
No. I mean, you got like a neighbor that like runs one of those things.
Oh yeah. Oh, the one that burned his original one down, so you get a better one.
I'm not saying that. But
well, I am.
All right.
I wear that entire statement. If you're listening, Pipcorn, I'm coming for you.
Well, that's the crazy goddamn thing about this, because I was asked, like, hey, you're the guy that does that podcast, right? When I was at the fucking brewery. Like, yeah. I was like, we have a global reach, but guess what? It's fucking all like locals.
Yeah. Well, if man, I just called out. Well, he knows where I live, so like right behind him.
You have a fist fight out in your yard? Yeah.
Come on, old preacher man. How was your week, man?
Not fucking awful. I'm having to learn a lot of new shit in order to do a new role that they're moving me into in the company.
Yeah, dude, I keep forgetting about that.
God, it's just some mind. I don't want to say mind numbing. It's fine. It's just new shit, and my brain doesn't want to operate too well with trying to get indoctrinated by having to read. I have to be shown. I'm a tactile learner. You know, it's like if you want to teach me some shit that I need to know how to do, show me how to do it, and then we'll talk about it, and then I'll read books all day. I don't care. But you can't just hand it over and go read this, and then we'll figure it out.
Sure.
I don't operate that well.
Well, that's how I train at the hotel, and it works for certain shit apparently.
Maybe not so much involving dryers.
Anything on a computer, yes. Anything that involves work ethic, absolutely fucking not.
But so there's that. My other problem is that actually, because one of my jobs I've been doing for a very long time, as I move further into my timeline within this company, is I'll be saying bye to that shit a week from tomorrow, and it's kind of one of those things that's kind of going to be really, really hard for me to let it go. Because it's kind of like a weird master of information kind of a thing. Yeah. And I'm willfully at this point willing to give up on it because I'm getting a little fucking shit sick of people. But
I feel you on that, my friend.
We may not have a full podcast this week, by the way. As all of you have picked up, we're doing a Thursday. I know we have some of the shit we usually talk about with the Mead, metal, and MMA side of it. But can I go ahead and point out, I think we're fucked. I really do. I think as a nation, I think we're fucked.
Uh-oh.
Kind of a rage cast, I think, probably coming up. The two-party system, as we embrace it, it's us versus them. It's red versus blue, dick suckers versus guys with the dicks versus, the whole nature of everything that involves our political system.
Mm.
I think we're screwed. I think Civil War II is coming up if we can stave off World War III. I think there's a matter of a variety
of bad way to put it.
Bad goddamn things that are in the grapevine for this country. And I'm not talking about, I'm not a Trump lover or a Trump hater. I'm a thinking man is the problem. And I think the two-party system is what is destroying the country at its fucking root. And I think it's a bad thing. Because if you fucking say everybody on this side over here is good, everybody on that side over there is evil. Well, what the fuck? What's the option to deal with it? You have to try to make somebody else see your way about it. That's how wars start. That's how you start going, all right, if you don't want to listen to fucking reason,
Yep. That's how the revolution starts.
And I'm fearful for the fact that we might take a fucking very big fall from grace in this goddamn country if people don't get their head out of their ass pretty quick. Yeah, insult the politicians that other people fucking love or hate or whatever. It doesn't matter, but it's not helping. It doesn't help.
I'll add this. I don't really watch TV too much. I don't really read the news too much. The only news I really pick up is the hour I have a television on in the lobby of the hotel for breakfast. After that, I really try to tune out of everything. I mean, hearing about the shooting this morning, it's everything I hear and see on the news, of course, is a bummer. But if I don't watch the news and if I don't hear any of the shit going on outside of my own personal bubble, my life is kind of okay. I mean, it's not the best, it ain't the worst, but it goes on, and I'm not too horribly bummed out about my position in the realm. Donald Trump and the whole political thing had no effect on my life whatsoever.
None. And Obama didn't. Bush didn't. Fuck Clinton didn't.
No, Obama did. Obama sent me a check for $400.
Yeah, well.
Because I was poor.
I was in arrears on some taxes, so that shit got munched pretty fast.
Yeah, that's all right. It still went to something. But, like the whole thing, if you didn't watch the news to be fucking afraid by all this shit going on, your life would be relatively unaffected.
Yeah. My problem, and I had to suspend my Twitter account, and then maybe, I don't know how long I'm going to keep it down, because I really love to interact with people that are cool.
Well, you actually get to interact with some, higher ups in the realm,
Sometimes, but I can't stand to see the debilitating nature that, look, man, Trump's fucking wrong. The media isn't fucking all fake news. It's not. They're bastards trying to fucking make a living, trying to get the right story out at the right time. But he's not fucking 100% wrong either. Journalism means fucking leaving the fuck alone. Don't make yourself part of the story, and they're all too willing to embrace it now.
Yeah.
And if you fucking make me have to admit that Trump's not 100% wrong, you're an asshole. So thanks, CNN. Thanks for making me have to admit, well, he's not 100% wrong. Bunch of shitheads. The whole thing is driving me crazy because of the fact they're trying to drive America into two camps, and I hate it because I always looked at it as 1,000 camps. Not necessarily the fucking melting pot that they always talk about. It's more of an American mosaic. I mean, there are distinct blocks of culture that hold on to their culture for, forever. But so it's not a full melting pot, but God damn it, it's a nation that fucking used to care about each other, I think.
Well,
we've always disagreed.
We did, but now we're all in the spotlight now.
Case in
our
point.
Our actions could potentially be broadcast to the world at any given moment.
No,
and we would have no fucking idea.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, the city we know and love that is the capital of the state of Texas. I have a shit ton of friends that are songwriters out of there.
Yeah.
On Twitter. Man, I'll tell you what, is that when the results came in that Robert O'Rourke, or as you probably know, Beto, that's his name. Well, they act like it's like some casual thing you ought to know. No, that's his nickname. The effeminate Ted Cruz. Have you ever seen that guy shake somebody's hand? Dude,
no,
it's the most finger-tipped handshake I've ever seen.
It's like this type of shit?
It's like Bob Dole's left hand.
Was he a germaphobe, or he's just like has a weak handshake?
Don't know.
Yeah,
that's the tough guy out of Texas, right? But everybody was losing their fucking minds, and they're like putting shit on from sub tweets from like the BBC. Like, well, as a resident of Austin, all I can do is apologize at the rest of like what? What?
God damn it!
What? Maybe that you couldn't pull off your crazy revolution just yet, because one asshole is going to fucking be in office for another 6 years, and maybe the other asshole can run against that asshole again, and maybe he'll win the next time around in 6 years, because they're all assholes. It doesn't matter.
Well, much like in MMA, you're not going to win the belt on your first shot.
I really, really feel like sometimes we're just watching some goddamn people we don't like.
Yeah.
And it's an MMA match, except over words or intellect or lack thereof, whatever. And by the way, I'm not trying to make this fucking political, but why can't conservatives spell correctly? We live in an age with fucking autocorrect. They should be able to correct your shit when you're on social media. I just want to know.
Take too long. They're right all the time.
And for you cocks on the left, don't go fucking thinking that you can tell everybody in the world how you should think and say, do research. No, bro. Why don't you do research? Stop fucking trying to play off you like you're some kind of smartass just because you vote for one party all the goddamn time.
Now, we're not talking about people, dudes
for you libertarians out there, keep up the good work,
brothers. We're not talking about the dudes who have cocks that dress to the left. Y'all are all right. You're part of the group.
No, yeah. We're talking about politics, right?
Yes.
The one thing we'd never talk about, but we have to. We have to fucking address it because it's a crazy world we live in right now.
Yeah, but it's not mine. You know,
unfortunately, it fucking kind of is. It kind of
it is.
It's kind of yours, and it's kind of
I
mine.
exist in a branch of it. You know, it's not.
No, I dig the person that doesn't vote, and I'm not fucking busting your balls, by
Right.
the way. The person that doesn't vote that looks to the rest of society and says, look, just don't burn the goddamn thing to the ground, okay?
Yeah, I'm going to be up on top of my mountain trying to figure my own shit out.
You know, I mean, George Carlin talked about how a non-vote is as much of a vote as a vote, you know, and I hate that when people are, hey, get out and vote, because that's the word right now. But in 2020, it's going to be get out and vote this way.
Presidential election, I've only voted twice in my life. I have no problem saying I voted in 2000 because I just registered. I'm like, oh, shit. I can buy lotto tickets and vote. I want to go do them both.
Want all them good shits.
And then I voted in the presidential election. I voted for Gary Johnson because that was the guy who was like,
I know, and I probably browbeat into it maybe, but
no, I was fine with that
Okay.
because, I mean, you know, granted, I heard more about Hillary Clinton over here than I ever would have heard anywhere else.
well, that was only because she was the front runner, right?
Allegedly, at the time.
Oh, you mean pro or con?
No, I mean,
We kind of had both actually with it.
no, I mean like well, shit. I don't fucking. As soon as it was over, I banished it from my mind.
Yeah.
But I mean all the bad shit about Hillary.
Right, well, yeah, because
You
she
know.
was a person that had been in office.
Yeah.
If you're a political figure and you've held office, you have a track record.
Right.
If you're a fucking independent person that head of a corporation, there's a limited amount of information that's going on out there. And if you're a former governor of New Mexico and you get really, really high and you climb Mount Everest, nobody knows what the hell's going on
That's
with
right.
you, except they will ask you about Aleppo, just so you know.
Yeah, they're going to test you out.
The old Gary Johnson from a Time Machine edition here.
So I don't know. I feel pretty good about advancing after that. How about you?
I'm good. Yeah.
All right.
Fuck.
Mead update. We were gonna have one. We were gonna test the boutique batch.
230, UFC 230 came along.
Yeah. And then that happened. Oh God, there was so much blood.
There was from one fight.
Yeah, a lot of blood.
It's going to be one of those you go back and watch on Fight Pass, and they'll be trying to pixelate the blood out because
Yeah.
it'll be ESPN,
And that,
right?
Yeah, that happened on Fight Pass.
Yeah. ESPN will go back and retroactively pixelate that shit.
Because normally on Fridays we talk about new releases. I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
So
All right. We're looking for a new Tool record that's going to be coming out.
Right.
Adam Jones apparently is done or getting close to done or something like that, to which then Maynard will be able to come back in and do his final flourishes, and then it goes off for mastering. I still maintain it's going to be around my birthday, mid-April.
I think you're right. There's going to be some, because after it's done, they're going to work on some serious package deals. It's not just going to be an MP3 download or a CD. There's going to be probably 8 different vinyl releases, box sets. It's Tool. It's a Tool album,
Yep.
First one in 12
And
years.
we may not get a new one ever, maybe after this.
Or yeah, if this
Or
one,
we get one a year and a half, and Maynard's like, "Bah,
suckers,
I'm back."
I'm in it for the long con. I mean, you know, I hope it's good, but I'll it's one of the things like I'll just have to wait.
So your favorite Tool album?
Oh God, Anima.
Wow. Okay.
It has Stinkfist on it. My favorite song.
Holy Gift is becoming mine. The compilation, the what is that? The fucking middle one, right?
Holy Gift?
Yeah.
That I'm not familiar.
I think it's a compilation between a couple of the what is it, first last track off of
Oh, you're talking song. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought you were talking album.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I fucking did go up. Well, because they've only got what, 3?
Yeah, they got Anima Lateralis 10,000 days.
Yeah,
And an EP in there.
yeah. I mean, for a long script, long run Tool, or fuck, maybe if the whole album is actually the thing you're after. But I mean, I actually
Undertow. Forgot about Undertow.
The Holy Gift is actually one of those I hadn't checked out in a long time. I kind of forgot about it because it's always outside of the playlist. You know, we do around here.
Right.
When we're assembling Tool, listen to just shit, you know, but
Or we allow YouTube to form it for us, which always goes to 46 and 2 every time.
every fucking time. All right. Anyway, I mean, is there a track that you're getting excited about that actually reinvigorates your excitement for the next effort from Tool?
Well, I mean, Schism's an easy one to go to,
Right.
because the goddamn bass line is awesome. It's the most memorable part of the song.
Is just God, I hate to admit it. My brother Daryl was right when we were picking like who's the best fucking bass player you could plug in a band. That guy.
Yeah, because he can do whatever you fucking need him to do. Like I said, Stinkfist is my favorite my favorite song. That's one if I want to get into a Tool mood, that's the first one I play.
Yeah. God, that's not a bad pick. But yeah, I was just trying to kind of figure out if
Sober's too easy.
That was the lazy man's reproach.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out like kind of if your mindset is getting kind of excited about some of the reach of Tool.
After APC, I gotta admit, my expectations are a little tempered.
Well, we kind of figured out why, or found out why. Not figured out. We found out.
We did the legwork.
Why we did fucking nothing.
We went and talked to Maynard
and
said,
nothing.
"What the fuck?
We did nothing." But yeah, the APC. Apparently, the complaint was that Maynard was really, really just
sounds like Maynard phoned it in, literally.
Very much so. And if you listen to it, man, I tried to make it. I tried to be excited. I tried to, I can embrace this if I listen to it another 40 times, but
even repetition does this album no good, in my opinion.
The truth grinder, known as Ruben Gonzalez, said
fucking nailed it. Dude nailed it day one.
Yeah. So kudos to him. He was right. Yeah. APC.
I thought he was being close-minded, but that fucking dude heard it.
This is the least inspired APC album of all time.
Yeah. So Ruben, I hope you're listening to this podcast. We probably just gave you the biggest props we've ever given you in my life. I know that.
Go fuck yourself.
There you go.
Oh, did I say that? No.
No, you were just thinking with your mouth.
With my mind. I was thinking with my mind again.
My mind.
I'm the only person I've ever met that. Yeah. There are a variety. Let's get into the metal side of things. Again, this last week was really uninspiring.
Last week was pretty. Well, last week's pretty. We had the Ocean.
It was okay.
The Ocean, which is one I actually delved into again this week to kind of listen a little more. It's not bad, but I took on something this week.
Okay.
I wanted to find a song from a band that I fucking hate that I enjoy.
Wow.
Yeah. Like a shitty...
Like any format, or are we talking shitty metal?
Shitty metal.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck you, sir.
It has to be the genre I love. So I was thinking of bands that I hate. And I was like, I'm going to go listen to one of their full albums and see if I can glean anything that I... totally open-minded,
Yeah.
And I picked Volbeat.
Well... Oh, okay. So a song that you can deal with from Volbeat.
No, a song that I actually like.
That you actually like.
That I could...
From a band you hate.
That I could envision that I would maybe play down the road.
Okay.
I listened to... I can't even fucking remember the name of the album. That already shows you how this is going to go. I listened to the whole album. Top to bottom. I mean, I'm familiar with Volbeat. I know how they sound. That's why I always talk shit to you about them.
Right.
But I've never really given them the time of day on a studio release. So I did. It was the one that had a Warriors Call on it. That's the only song I can remember.
Okay.
And that might be the only positive thing I have to say about Volbeat, is that I remember the name of one song.
Yeah. Man, you know what? I had to start kind of thinking about going back. Man, I don't even know if I could fucking do this, because I really fucking hate these guys that bad. It has to go back then to the 80s, because that's where the worst fucking metal was at of all time. And if you're 45 years old and you live with your mother and you're pissed off I said that, you can go fuck yourself, by the way. Just want you to know, because I don't really need your input.
That's right.
Motley Crue is the worst band of all time in metal. And so if I had to actually find one...
I wouldn't call Motley Crue metal. Well, I mean, rock and metal. When I say metal, I mean everything with a riff.
I guess. But anyway, I would probably actually say a song, though, that I really kind of dig from a band I really fucking hate is Looks to Kill.
Wow.
It's riffy.
Really?
It's
yeah,
riffy,
but no, really. No, it shocks me because it's super early Motley Crue.
Yeah. But yeah, because later Motley Crue's horrible. They get worse as
you
they go.
You didn't like Kickstart My Heart?
No.
Damn, man. That song comes on the radio for me. I'll still get my head fucking going. But it's not because it's a good song. It's just because of the...
dick? No, that's...
Hey, goddamn it! Don't let that political rage get too over into this shit.
We'll start a spiel. No, that would be it's,
yeah. I totally agree. That is one of the few Motley Crue songs I actually really like.
So I was trying to participate. So there you go.
No, that was all right. But you threw some shit on me last week, and then
I like to call it manure or feces.
Yeah, the shit hit the fan of F, Marry, Kill Band Edition.
Oh, okay.
I got one for you.
Good. I was hoping. See, this is what I was hoping for. Cause I thought,
I do my homework.
Maybe this might get him off his ass and make him grow up to be a doctor or something.
You're learning me the way. But yeah, I think you're going to have a real problem with this. All right. F, Marry, Kill.
Oh, are we doing this because the 2% of ladies that are listening to the show?
No, well, I don't.
After all the others.
I think you're being gracious with 2%. I think there's one. F, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
Mastodon. Opeth. Winter Sun.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm talking all bands in their current incarnation.
Right. I'm going to go immediately. Marry Mastodon. That's what you do. That's the right move.
You can't tie down Brent Hines.
Yes, you can, apparently, because that was offered in this week's edition. So I'm left with Fuck or Kill and Winter Sun or Opeth. So clearly you'd think, okay, this guy's going to say, let's go ahead and fuck Opeth and kill Winter Sun because we know how he is on things.
I figured, well, all right.
That's where you'd think I would go.
Yeah.
No, not this week. Not this week. My plan, I would kill Opeth because fucking, you're just a pale communion of yourself.
Ooh, burn.
And there's maybe a little more clever than I need to be. But Winter Sun, because that way, you fuck them, they go, oh, this is great. We're going to be together forever. We're going to start making plans. We're going to wear purple on fucking February 8th. I don't know. But, shit like that. And, that's what you do. And then you go, oh, by the way, you see that lock? Could you unlock it and let yourself out? And then you immediately get a restraining order. And they're like, what? Yeah.
So you fuck Winter Sun.
Yes.
But it's like the way you'd fuck someone you hate.
Yes.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I figured you would have married Opeth and no, actually, I that's how I kind of
you know how I
thought I had it right, but the reasoning was totally off.
You know how I go on this. All right, so what your three were what?
Well, if it were me,
yeah,
I'd probably.
We'll say this is why it's got to be you.
Yeah. Well, shit for me. My fucking married be reversed.
Okay.
No, fuck. Let me just run down. I would fuck Mastodon and marry Opeth, and I'd kill Winter Sun.
Okay.
Just because I feel like after marrying Opeth, I might be able to get him back on the Blackwater Park path. Instead of trying to do all this goddamn hippie rock that other bands are doing way better. I hate to say that.
Ooh.
I hate to say that, but it's true.
I don't know if they're doing better, but they're fucking certainly doing more of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're doing it better. Well, Michael Ackfelt of Opeth is like a Yari, dude. He's like he's a more active Yari.
He's a more talented and active Yari.
Yeah.
Because frankly, I don't give a fuck if you can rip on a fucking guitar that's made for that. I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. I care about songwriting, songability, vocals, and frankly, Winter Sun brought me into folk metal. They're also the same band that drove me out. So
yeah, which is kind of a
that's
a very profound statement.
That's a credit that appears on your PS4 account.
Well, shit, man. When's the last time we jammed some solid Norwegian folk metal?
Not
it
much.
has been a long fucking time.
They got me in and they threw me out. So and one man.
I'll come back when that new Moonsorrow comes out, if and when.
Yeah,
but even Moonsorrow, I feel like I'm not going to be as stoked as I was for Umaltanika.
Man, I think I got to say, folk metal I think is for the younger man. I think.
So you got in, you got burned out, and you bailed.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I don't think that's exactly inaccurate.
Yeah, because I'll still listen to him on a Marth, but they're not really folky. They're just Viking metal.
They're straight up thrash, Norwegian thrash, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Well, shit, all they do is talk about Vikings. They might be the only band that be legitimately called Viking metal.
Because everybody's like, we're not Viking metal.
I mean,
yeah, that's who we are.
Johan Hegg is a goddamn owner of Grimfrost,
Yeah.
which we've had their mead here.
Yeah.
Sweet as motherfucking sugar,
Yeah.
god damn it. Tasty, but sweet as fuck.
Very sweet. Man, I don't know. There's nothing in folk metal right now that I actually would probably want to pick up. As I'm thinking about it, because what are some of the best things that have come out? The problem is that it allowed that folk metal edge to give itself over to fucking synth, right?
Yeah,
I would say.
Well, it's easy. It's cheaper.
I mean, look, I dig. There's nothing better than like.
I mean,
late
Elevati has
2000s,
legit.
early 2010s of being able to do that synth thing with the full-on harmonics,
right?
On the vocal, and you're getting your Viking music and shit like that way. I dig, but granted, I also realize that in a genre that has like 19 different subgenres, that everything is always going to be in flux all the time,
right?
Fluid, always.
It's.
So, yeah, folk metal is a problem, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, at best, I can view it as something I fall in and out of. If something comes along that strikes me right, I'll give it the praise it deserves.
Right.
Because while I don't actively listen to folk metal all the time these days, I'm still a fan. I'm just waiting for that next thing.
Right.
It's, I don't know, I think Alice in Chains really changed my opinion on a lot of music, man. Well, that 1-2 punch of hearing the album and then seeing them live, it changed a lot of shit for me in the game.
I might really say that the best advice you can get to take away with is never get really deep into a Alice in Chains album here in the modern age.
Can't do it,
because
man.
if you do, it's perfect in a variety of different ways at different times.
Yeah. Well, there are times I listen to that album, I feel like this fucking album was written for me.
It was it's sonically perfect for what I want.
Yeah.
For what I want in a record.
See, I think on your aspect of it, it's the musicality of it.
Yes.
For me, it's the lyrics. I really feel, I mean, like musically, I think it's goddamn treasure.
And that's what
lyrics
brings it all together.
Punch me right in the goddamn heart.
Yeah, man.
And there's not a lot of albums that can do that. There's three albums that can
What's
do that.
What's that one little verse on the one something about from Blackwater?
Oh, are you surprised Blackwater flows from wells run dry?
Which
prophetic fucking statement right
there. There's some interesting shit involving Brandon, past tasks, metaphorically and physically.
My grandpappy was a well man, which means I was a well man.
That's always what that means, right?
Yeah. Should have, yeah. If I'd stayed with my original family, I'd probably have been a mechanic. But then I was a well man. And then I became a hospitality motherfucker. Well, dude.
Blackwater flows from wells run dry.
And don't be surprised. Yeah, that entire album. I don't even like to talk about it. I really don't. I feel like it's almost too personal a thing for me to discuss on the podcast.
Probably. Yeah, I'll be talking about vagine, like with past lovers. All right. Shall we move?
Let us get on to MMA, because it has been a busy week.
Okay. Well, go ahead and lead us off. I've got to go get rid of some near perfect Roosevelt Brewing Company Eleanor's Blonde.
Yes. Well, this portion of the podcast brought to you by Eleanor Blonde.
It's not the first sponsor we've had that's actually given us legit shit, but it's...
Yeah, that's true, but it is one that came to us.
Ranch has got really...
That's right.
The big one, but... Yeah, this is kind of the first one where I was like, oh, I actually get to kind of do a real commercial.
There you go. Say, goddamn it finally pays to do this shit after 101 episodes. So, yeah, of course, it's a big week. We got a fight week coming up. Headline in Denver by Chan Sung Jun, the Korean zombie, fighting Yair Rodriguez. But that's... So, out of all the things that happened in MMA this week, there are 3 names that are going to come up that aren't normally associated with it, except for maybe one. Not lately. Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, and the third one I'm going to say. But I want to talk about CM Punk first. CM Punk has finally made his next step in the MMA career he has chosen at such a late stage in his life. But he's not going to be fighting. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, great. What is he going to be doing? Just be like an analyst? I mean, he has no MMA credibility. So really outside of getting his ass beat in the octagon, there's not a whole lot he can do. He's going to be a commentator for Cage Fury Fighting Championships on UFC Fight Pass, my friends. CM Punk returns, thankfully not in a fighting capacity.
So can I tap out this time then?
You can tap from listening to him. You may be. Well, see, the thing is, he's an entertaining guy because he used to be a wrestler. He can be an entertaining guy, but
my problem
commentator for MMA, dude, I don't see it. That means if this motherfucker can commentate MMA events, you and I can do it.
Well, we have no doubt of that anyway.
Yeah, we've fucking proven that many times on fucking fight nights.
My bigger problem with the whole thing is because the fact, how believable is he? And it comes down to a believability index. If you're going to be doing this shit, and well, I'm bullshitting you, obviously, by so calling it an index, but how much do you want to hear the color guy talk technical shit? And as everybody knows, Rogan, he doesn't talk a whole bunch about striking, a little bit. But man, that shit goes to the ground. That motherfucker immediately talks like a technician.
Yeah,
because that's
ground
what
game and leg kicks. That's where he's at.
You know, but that's the whole thing, is that where all of this comes into play is that, do you want CM Punk to be the guy that's giving you information, knowing that he never had a good showing in MMA, period?
He will strictly be there for an entertainment factor. Strictly.
It's like
dude's charismatic.
Dick and fart jokes.
Dude's charismatic, but I won't shoot it down. I mean, it's not like I'm going to... I might listen to some of his comments because I'm curious to see if he can use that charisma to give himself a career in MMA without... Because if he does a good job, people will forget about the fact that he went to UFC and shit the bed.
I don't think they will.
I think they will. I think the current MMA fan... I'm not talking about the hardcores. And you know who I'm...
legacy, people like, oh yeah, that guy?
Well, because he's not like he's going to be like, oh, that was a great that was a great transition to side. He's not going to do that shit. This is going to be your new Mike Goldberg. That's who it's going to be.
Which means
for a brand that's very, very small. It's an affiliate of UFC. That's why it's on Fight Pass.
Right.
So it's not like he's joining the UFC commentary team. This guy is starting out in the minors like he should have in his fighting career.
Before letting him just get embarrassed on a national stage.
And I mean, because we've learned a lot about MMA just by watching it and learning. If he is a fan like we're a fan, with time he might be a good commentary. He's a good voice.
Right.
But that's about the end of the positive. This is the last thing he can do. If he fucks this up, then he's done. Dude needs to go back and wrestle. Now, the second name I mentioned was Brock Lesnar.
Would he actually make money if he did that, you think?
Who, CM Punk?
Yeah.
Wrestling?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's just, that's one of the things I can't get my head around because I was not.
Dude, everybody, they run like 4 shows a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, like the house shows, which are the shows that aren't on TV, a lot of people go. They don't sell out. But
fake fighting is crazy. It's a crazy thing.
Well, you're getting to see a goddamn Shakespearean play. South Park nailed it. There's an episode of South Park where they paint pro wrestling as like a Shakespearean tragedy. And everybody's like in a Coliseum watch. That's what it is. You're watching a live movie unfold.
That's crazy.
You know, or if you're a kid, you think that shit's real and people are beating the fuck out of each other.
And then you go to thinking when somebody tries to steal your bike when you're 12,
but
like, I'm going to show them this motherfucker these hands.
And it's funny you mentioned that because why I mentioned Brock Lesnar, we had mentioned that at this, I don't know why the WWE decided to do an event in Saudi Arabia, but they did.
Sure.
And Brock Lesnar recaptured the WWE Universal Championship.
So he's not going to be coming back to UFC.
It has been, they say he's signed a new contract with WWE.
Well, then again,
why not?
He could do like a UFC, fight and shit like that, but still, and fake fight.
Yeah, but if he goes to UFC and gets his ass beat by either Cormier or Jones and goes back, he has no value. He's done. He's done. He's no longer the badass killer.
Okay. You know what? I didn't give 2 fucks about his career, really, so I wouldn't even.
Oh, I love Brock in MMA, man. I mean, after the Frank Mir fight, the dude came out and legitimately murdered people. Yeah. But it didn't take long for people to figure it out. Yeah, eating a goddamn seed and getting taken down by a seed. The third name that I alluded to, Floyd Money Mayweather.
Yeah.
That motherfucker had a fight announced Saturday. Saturday
Khabib,
or Sunday.
Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Says, I can take that wrestler down. Ain't no big deal. No,
No, not that.
This was going to be a Ryzen puts on New Year's Eve cards, and there's spectacles.
Yeah. They're like a long and really some of the best fighters they get all year.
Yeah. And what better way to have a spectacle than have the biggest name in boxing come over to fight for you?
Money. Yeah.
Floyd
Mayweather.
Now, when I heard that, I was like, oh, shit. Well, this is Ryzen. It's basically Pride. They're paying this kid off to take the dive.
It's like New South Wrestling, really.
Yeah. It's wrestling. So he's going to fight this kickboxer.
Who's actually got a crazy record. Yeah.
Pretty gnarly. Well, I mean, he's certainly a journeyman, that's for sure. And they have this big-ass press conference. A huge-ass press conference.
I want to say dude's like 47-4 or some crazy.
That might be his kickboxing record. And everything seemed to go fine. 2 days later, fight's off. I ain't going to fight this guy. They lied to me. I didn't know I was going to fight that guy.
Yeah.
Now, number one, clearly Floyd Mayweather is not going to be in a
He's
full...
He's 50-0 by judging who to fight is the best guy.
He's not going to be a full-blown MMA match. It's just not. At the best, it was going to be an exhibition that would always be standing.
Well, this Tatsuya, whatever his name is, fucking
Tetsuya Naito. No, that's a wrestler. I was going to say Tetsuya Naito. No, that's a wrestler.
No, but he, like I said, I think he's like 40. I want to say 47-4 kickboxing, but 4-0 in MMA.
Teshin Nasukawa.
Yeah, but dude's like 4-0 in MMA. Floyd Mayweather, I don't know that guy could handle one of the contenders that came off of the fucking Dana White thing on Tuesdays.
Well, when does it stop being an MMA fight and start being a boxing exhibition for this guy?
When you cannot take anybody down or use kicking.
Yeah. It's like, it's a boxing match in a cage. Ooh, fuck that noise. I'm glad it was going to be in Ryzen, but as soon as I heard now, it's like, this fight's never going to happen. I immediately went and looked at highlights for this guy. I was like, absolutely not. Because if it's any type, the best way they can do it to be MMA is you got to allow kicks. You got it.
Rogan fucking tweeted, this before I shut my Twitter account down, Joe Rogan fucking actually tweeted, he's like, this is the craziest goddamn thing ever. This guy is truly a beast. Look him up. And it had like the guy's name. He's like, Google search this shit, or YouTube search this shit, for this guy's fucking video.
And it wasn't all his legs. The dude has legit striking.
Which, so it would have been on the rules set. That's the only thing that matters. And the rule set that would only work for Floyd Mayweather would be if it's boxing. Yeah. And a
boxing exhibition.
Carefully observed thing by a referee that's able to step in at
Floyd
any moment.
Floyd said it was supposed to be a very small crowd exhibition with a bunch of rich people.
Yeah.
No way.
No.
That sounds like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie from the 80s.
And sounds like you make some 80s music to that. Fucking have certain camera angles that...
Yeah. Floyd Mayweather's never going to fight MMA because no one's going to agree to just make it a boxing match. So it's never going to happen.
Well, Conor McGregor did. So.
Yeah, well, he went to boxing, though. Floyd's never going to come to MMA. He never will.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
I mean, he might fight Pacquiao again. He might even fight Conor again.
But
Shit,
it
who
ain't
knows?
Going to be MMA, though.
Fuck no, that dude's never entering a cage in his goddamn life. But let us move on. We do have a fight card on Saturday.
Okay.
Hailing from Denver, the home of UFC.
Oh, by the way, great Snapchat shit. Instagram fucking account from Cowboy Cerrone for the drive up from New Mexico up to fucking Denver. Kudos, guys. That shit was crazy funny. He didn't ask me anything, and it was like fucking 40 questions or some shit. It was crazy. Damn. Crazy lengths. But,
wow, not bad. Okay, so we actually have a 6-fight main card here. On your Fight Pass prelims, no one really of note. Your prelim main event's going to be Ashley Yoder fighting Amanda Cooper at strawweight. God, I mean, honestly, I don't really get into names I'm super familiar with until a lightweight fight. Your third fight on the main card, Benyel Dariush fighting Diego Moises.
Okay,
which is a name I'm not familiar with, but I know Benyel Dariush.
Yeah, that guy's great. I mean, he does have a chin that can get out there a little bit apparently once in a while. But man, if he can keep
trained by Rafael Cordero,
right,
the crazy man.
But
this guy is on a 3-fight losing streak.
And he's about due for a turnaround. So I think that's what the promotion's giving him.
Well, he did draw Evan Dunham at 216.
But I think if he drops this one here, he might be heading to Bellator.
Well, his
fight to win to live.
His sweep the leg.
Sweep. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm just dropping some knowledge. That's all.
I'm gonna fucking pick the other guy. I'm picking the guy that doesn't have a Wikipedia page. Well, if you don't have a Wikipedia page, you're officially the other guy.
Of other guy for a long time.
But now you're getting into the fight card that's actually a little stacked. Women's bantamweight. You got Jermaine Durandamy fighting Raquel Pennington. Yes, because this one's only half full. See, I'm optimistic. Raquel Pennington, we haven't seen since she fought Amanda Nunes and got obliterated.
Back in the 70s, right?
They threw her ass to the wolves. Raquel got destroyed by fucking Nunes.
Shocked to see she's back again.
And Jermaine Durandamy is a coward.
Yeah, well, she
gave
up her title to not have to fight to defend it.
Which happens a lot at your featherweight division.
Apparently.
I wonder why. I can't get behind a coward. I can get behind a fucking warrior, and Raquel Pennington's a warrior.
Yep, I'm with you. Yep.
Your co-main event, which is really the one, unless I see a twister. Unless I see a twister in that main event. Donald Cerrone.
The less dicey.
Yeah. Cowboy Donald Cerrone fighting Mike Perry, which they share the same camp. I don't know if people have followed this story that maybe Cowboy Cerrone's a little unhappy with his current camp.
Mike Perry's going to win, but I'm going to be pulling for Cowboy Cerrone.
Well, I always pull for Cowboy.
Yeah.
Win or lose, I've pulled for this motherfucker. Through the fishing trips, nearly dying underwater. And I ask before every fight, do you want to be a fighter or do you want to be a cowboy?
Because he's been pulling it off for being both.
He's not really been the fighter. He's been a goddamn cowboy.
Yeah.
Fighter, the dude he's won 2 of his last 5. He lost 3 in a row, beat Yancey. Thankfully, we were fucking there to see it. Then immediately came around and lost a rather boring fight to Leon Edwards.
Yeah, man.
So Mike Perry's not going to be a boring fight.
Mike Perry, he tends to power bombs people, right?
Mike Perry comes out hot. He fucking burns out, though. Dude burns out.
So if Cerrone's fighting style is to keep people off of him and try to keep those hands in front of his face, which doesn't work out very often, but if he can do that and wear him out, then suddenly rounds 2 and 3 are Cowboy Cerrone's.
I mean, shit, man. Mike Perry is legitimate boxer.
Right. That's what I mean. If he can weather that. If Cerrone can weather.
But let's also not forget that before the split decision win over Paul Felder, that dude lost his last 2.
Yeah.
Against Max Griffin and Ponzinibbio.
Right. And which are the best strikers that you have out there in the game right now.
I mean, really, I remember him as fucking throwing that gnarly elbow on Jake Ellenberger.
Yeah.
That's when Ellenberger should have retired.
The one that made his ears move, right?
But I got Cowboy. I think Cowboy's going to wear him down and tap him out in 3rd round.
I think so.
I'm being super optimistic, though.
That is not because you have to assume that he's going to be able to hold off that shit and keep the defense on round 1.
And if
more than what Mike Perry can.
This is not the fight he wants to start slowing, man. He's got to get hot out the gate.
Yeah, and I think the best way to do that is kind of rock him, and kind of prevent some takedowns and things like that, or any desperation shots, I would say. Because you don't want that motherfucker on top of you and shit like that.
Wheeling right, dude. Yeah. And Cerrone's going to have the distance. He's going to have the reach advantage.
Yeah.
And he's great with his legs. If it goes to the ground, Cerrone is fucking top notch. If it stays on the feet the whole fight, I don't like his chances too god awful much.
I'm all in on Cerrone. Having said that, as people who listen to this know, that's the fucking death touch. So that comes down I think Mike Perry's going to get a finish.
That means a dude with a goddamn face tattoo is going to beat Donald Cerrone tomorrow.
I think probably in the first 20 seconds.
Or Saturday.
First 20 seconds on Saturday.
And then move on to your main event. The Korean zombie, Chan Sung Jung, fighting Yair Rodriguez.
Man, Yair Rodriguez was like, I expected he would be the champion at some point at that weight class. And until he had a really, really horrible experience not long ago. God damn it, who was the he was like
Frankie
huge.
Edgar.
Yes, Edgar motored that guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the doctor shut it down at the end of the second round.
Yeah, dude has not been the same since.
But that guy, I mean, he was undefeated in UFC until that point. But they had thrown him like, okay, here's some name: Dan Hooker, Andre Touchy-Feely, Bruce Leroy, and then he fought BJ Penn. Got a Performance of the Night award for that. And then Frankie Edgar came around and ruined his dreams. It's really going to be a question of ring rust here, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's coming off that Frankie Edgar loss. Chan Sung Jung lost to Jose Aldo for the belt in August of 2013.
But he had to do his Korean service.
He had to go do his duty.
Right.
3.5 years later, this guy comes back, knocks out Dennis Bermudez in the first round. That was in February of last year. It's been a year and a half since we've seen him fight again. But I don't think ring rust is a thing for Chan Sung Jung.
Yeah, that's kind of where the question mark is, right?
Yeah.
Well, and you have to stay with the horse that kind of brought you there.
Right.
That guy has a crazy. He's dangerous. We've seen in his fights prior to his military service. How is that kind of carrying over? I don't know, but I will say, I think that guy he's going to get a quick finish. There's no reason to expect that he's not going to.
Yeah.
The big hang up is always that guy hadn't fought in a long time. Let's go ahead and think that he hasn't been doing anything. How do you know that guy hadn't basically been in an own self-imposed training camp for some crazy shit going
This
on?
next fight will tell the tale for sure. Well, all right, my man. God damn. Here we thought we weren't going to be able to talk that long, and we talked a normal amount of time.
Yeah. It'll pass. It'll do.
Yeah. So let's get to them picks. So what are you drinking tonight?
It is the Eleanor's Blonde from Roosevelt Brewing Company and Public House.
Many thanks. Many thanks.
See, it's old. I know what side my bread's buttered on. So.
I'm gonna be. I'll be drinking the same thing. Well, it's all gone, so I've drank it. So I'll be moving to Budweiser.
Good man.
Metal. I'm going to go with Lamb of God. I'm kind of still angry from my initial bitching about my week. And I want something with no substance or meaning. I just want a riff. Metal riff. What do you got? What's your pick?
I'll go with the Desert Sessions. The cats from the Queen's Stone Age.
Not bad.
Josh Homme and PJ Harvey.
He's he's got to be a big asshole. I mean, he's a ginger. I'm just calling it like I see it.
Not wrong. You're not wrong. But yeah.
And MMA. How do you see Mike Perry? If that dude, do you think Mike Perry can knock out Cerrone?
I think it drops him like 15 seconds.
If Mike Perry wins, you think he wins early and in the first?
Very much.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, and if he'll be like ready for a fight, he'll be like begging to get on the one in fucking Vegas.
And then he's gonna come out and talk shit.
Eve.
And I think Cerrone, if he does get fucking knocked out, I think Cerrone's done. After all this goddamn drama with Winklejohn.
Yeah. No, you're right.
A big loss will shut his fucking love of the game down.
I think so.
That's my bold pick.
No,
but I'm hoping Cerrone wins.
You're right. You're right. I hope Cerrone wins, but I don't see it happening. If it does, it's going to be a weird, crazy fucking thing that.
I'll love it. I'll pop like a motherfucker.
Yeah, but I don't see it happening.
Well, friends, we're going to get the fuck out of here, finish our beers, and talk about the salacious things we can't talk about in the podcast.
All salubrious.
That's right.
It's a good word.
Thanks for stopping by. Many thanks to the Roosevelt Brewing Company.
Indeed.
Awesome. Very awesome. We'll see your asses back here probably on a Friday.
On a Friday. We'll try.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason. I mean, because this is like the Thursday before Veterans Weekend. Well, it's Veterans Week. Because Veterans Day falls on the Sunday. More importantly, the Marine Corps birthday falls on a Saturday, so you know that I'll be falling down.
There's going to be some earth burning going on.
Whew, I think so. But, yeah, and then we have coming up not long, the Thanksgiving week and shit like that. I mean, things get a little bit crazy on our podcast schedule.
That's right.
So.
But we're going to get shit done. We always do. We haven't missed a week yet.
Not yet. Some week we might give you about 10 minutes of go fuck yourself, but that's
only because we like you a lot.
Love you all the time. Love you a long time.
Many thanks to everyone. Josh LaCour, Dale Robbins, Roosevelt County Brewing Company. God damn it.
Oh, and Josh Liquor. Thanks for hanging out.
Good old Josh Liquor.
Yeah. I think it's Liqueur. I think it's.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.